A murder investigation took an unexpected turn today when bomb disposal experts were called to a former pub near Woodbridge in Suffolk. Last week, Sharon Green was found stabbed to death at the Old Bell in Malmesford. Her husband, Paul, has been charged with murder. Let's get more details now from Gareth George in Malmesford.
Well, the village of Malmesford is bisected by the busy A12 as it runs up to Lowestoft, and tonight in the village a sole police officer stands guard outside the former Old Bell pub. We had a statement from Suffolk Police just a short time ago, and it said ongoing searches here discovered what's believed to be live grenades and a landmine. The area was evacuated and bomb disposal experts were called in. They've now finished their work and a device has been taken away for safe detonation. We subsequently found out that the place used for that safe detonation was actually a nearby farmer's field. Of course, it was last Friday that the body of 53-year-old Sharon Green was found here. A post-mortem examination revealed that she died from stab wounds. This morning at Ipswich Magistrates Court, her husband, Paul Green, appeared and he was charged with Sharon Green's murder. Police now tell us that the searches here will resume. Back to you.
Gareth, thank you very much.
A hospital in Essex says it's so full it can't cope with any more non-emergency patients. Broomfield Hospital in Chelmsford says it's treating a high number of patients and is under severe pressure for beds. Managers are asking people only to come to A&E if they're seriously ill or have a genuine emergency. The car maker Lotus says production could double over the next decade. The company, which is based in Norfolk, wants to introduce a new range of cars over the next 5 years, in addition to the Evora.
Two cousins from Essex who were jailed for manslaughter in Cyprus will have to serve their sentence there. Michael Binnington and Luke Atkinson, both live in Witham, had been hoping to serve their time in a prison in this country.
At the High Court, Michael Binnington and Luke Atkinson's solicitor made one last attempt to stop their extradition. But despite being sympathetic, two judges said there was nothing they could do. The future for the men now, a Cypriot jail.
The European Convention on Extradition allows for citizens to serve their sentences in their own countries, but the UK government didn't adopt that as part of our own extradition treaty. So it's in the European legislation but not in the UK legislation, and it's another classic example of why the whole treaty needs to be reviewed.
The cousins were on a family holiday in 2006. After an argument in a nightclub, the car they were passengers in hit a moped. One rider was killed. The driver, their uncle, went to jail. The pair were acquitted of wrongdoing and sent home, but a Cypriot court overturned that decision. Since then, they've been fighting extradition. Speaking to us recently, Luke Atkinson said the whole ordeal has been a strain on everyone.
Both our mums are so upset. I can't explain how upset they are right now. You know, they're looking at not seeing their sons for possibly 3 years, and it's just, no mother should have to face that.
Tonight, Michael Binnington told us although he feels they shouldn't be going to jail, they just want to serve their sentences. This morning's decision here at the High Court means that Michael Binnington and Luke Atkinson have now exhausted all legal avenues. It looks like within a week they'll find themselves on their way back to Cyprus. Their only hope now is that they may be repatriated after 6 months. Felicity Simper, BBC Look East at the High Court.
Boat owners will soon have to pay more to use the Broads. The annual charge is going up by 6%. The Broads Authority says the money will be used to pay for more dredging and improving water quality. The future of Kings Lynn Football Club is in severe doubt this evening after being wound up in the High Court today. The club has failed to pay a tax bill of £65,000. The club appealed for more time, but the registrar declared the club to be woefully insolvent. They've been told the order might be rescinded if they can come to an agreement over the unpaid tax.
Norwich City stepped up their bid for promotion today by signing Peterborough United's experienced skipper Russell Martin. It follows another successful night for the Canaries and promotion rivals Colchester.
A 4-1 win, fourth in the league and a new loan signing, Peterborough captain Russell Martin. A good day at Carrow Road.
The momentum is definitely there. The fan base, as I keep on saying, is is terrific, and nearly a full house again last night, and everything about the club at the minute seems to be really, really positive.
You want to come into a club that's doing well, and the boys are on fire at the minute, so great result last night, another one, and hopefully I can just come in and help along a bit.
Norwich aren't just getting footballing flair. A year ago, we followed the player as he learned to play guitar. Clearly, he had some way to go, but Norwich seemed to be getting there. Norwich didn't need much help last night. Grant Holt's cheeky chip came with just 3 minutes gone. Wes Houlihan slid home a second. And after Brighton got one, Norwich scored 2 more, although they did have a helping head with the third. They're making a push for promotion at Colchester too, and 2 goals in the first 15 minutes put them well on their way to a win. Kevin Lisby's header was his 9th goal of the season. Colchester tried route 1 to make it 2. Clive Platt the closest to put the ball away. Colchester up to 3rd. For Southend, there was a tiring trip to Tranmere, a team that are bottom of League 2. Manager Steve Tilson has called for consistency after they came back with nothing but a 2-0 defeat. And Jana Gadgill, BBC Look East.
You're watching Look East from the BBC. Coming up, we want to...
Now, when the soprano Faryl Smith returned to her hometown of Kettering to sign copies of her new CD, she capped the day by singing one of her favourite songs to friends and well-wishers.
Very good, but the local council was watching and soon realised there was a problem. The record shop did not have an entertainment licence and is now facing prosecution.
Back in March, hundreds of people filled HMV in Kettering, eager to catch a glimpse of Faryl Smith, the local girl who so impressed Simon Cowell on Britain's Got Talent that he described her as literally 1 in a million. After signing hundreds of copies of her record-breaking debut album, the then 13-year-old treated her fans to a song. But it later transpired the record shop didn't have a public entertainment licence. It had broken the law, and now it's being taken to court.
Too far, much too far.
Why?
Because she tried to entertain local people.
It is just over the top. We are going over the top lately. Everywhere we go, we can't do this, we can't do that.
We're trying to promote the young girl from Kettering who's doing really, really well and everything else. And then all this health and safety, rules and regulations, it's just getting out of hand, absolutely ridiculous.
Kettering Borough Council told us it had offered HMV the opportunity to pay for a retrospective licence, which they apparently declined to do. But HMV has told us that wasn't the case. They say they weren't given the opportunity to retrospectively apply for a licence. And for the sake of £21, they say, of course, they would have done the sensible thing. And that would have saved a lot of time and money for everyone concerned.
I think it's totally blown out of all proportion when you've got so many things going on in the world and in life that we're paying all this money out for something that brought in so much happiness to everybody in the town.
So why is HMV in such hot water? Well, the Licensing Act of 2003 states that any regulated entertainment needs a licence. That means the entertainment must take place in the presence of an audience to entertain them. The maximum financial penalty of £20,000 is because it could put public safety at serious risk. Today, Faryl Smith's people said the teenager had simply wanted to give something back to her local supporters, something they say she won't be able to do again. Anna Todd, BBC Look East, Kettering.